is going on here? What the hell is this map?
Hey guys, and welcome to the first devlog of my new map, King of the Hill Facade. Now, this is my first version of the map. This is the Alpha 1. It doesn't quite look like much of an Alpha 1 since it's all textured up. It's not very pretty looking per se, but I decided to put the textures on this early so that it was more obvious which team you're at, which area team you're at, and also just to get an idea of the theme I might go for. As you can see here, the main point of the map is this elevator that goes down here. Whether this is controversial or not, we'll see, but I'll kind of talk about the process that I took to get here. Now, I started this map where the player starts, the spawn. I knew I wouldn't have that much time to work on this map, but I've really been kind of getting better and faster with my mapping, so the completion of this entire area, as in the map itself, only took me about 3, maybe 3.5 days. Which means, if possible, I could probably put myself through the 72-hour challenge, something I've never done before, and make it out with some of my sanity intact. If you don't know, the 72-hour challenge is 3 days in which you have to finish a map. So now, if you'll see, this spawn here is a little more complicated than I'd like it to be. I just wanted the idea to have one spawn here that gets you out at more or less the ground level, and a lower spawn here that gets you at a sea floor level maybe, but also has this diagonal entrance that you can get to right there. Of course, you can walk up this displacement slope here as well, but by that point you might as well just go out this door. I actually started by creating this angled path here. I kind of just went through here, made this lobby area, made a way to get up here, and I have this second flank here that I kind of made unintentionally that people can quite easily jump onto and enter this second lobby as well. And then I have this third building here that's really just, to get people up to the main fighting area as we see here. I also did not clip this roof here, which I can show you how you can rocket jump over that. It's not too easy to do, but it is possible. So people who really know how to maneuver themselves with the jumping classes can just jump over here and hopefully have a fun time. I've heard so far that this map is quite fun to rocket jump on. I haven't heard about demo jumping, but I'm guessing the different slopes kind of here and there. So when you rocket jump and you get to a higher area, you can shoot one off quickly and you can just keep flying. We have this top area here that kind of has all the land that goes around these two main buildings, especially this one building, which is the most detailed in the entire map at this time. It's very reminiscent of Cactus Canyon buildings, which I think I might add some cactuses here and there in the later versions. It's a shame we never got that map, but I'll just have to do it myself. If nobody knows, if you don't know which building I'm talking about, I would go check out Suna's Cactus Canyon Redux, and it's this building right here that just looks gorgeous with all the color correction. Now, as you can obviously see, the point here is on this very steep elevator. Now, I wanted to have a kind of capturing fight where there's really two fights going on. You need to more or less conquer this top area to have the very, very good benefit of being able to just shoot down on the point here. Then you obviously also have to get down to the point, which means that this battle down here is almost as important. Because it doesn't matter if you can jump down here if you're just stuck surrounded by all these jumping around enemies. Speaking of jumping around, this area right here with all the little boardwalks and such, very fun for scout. Just jumping around from one to the next, nobody can touch you. Very nice. You also have this area right here that I made as a kind of continuation of this area that also gets you up on level with the point itself. Now, the elevator doesn't move outside of the beginning cutscene, more or less, but I've gotten a lot of feedback to make it move more, so in the coming versions we might see a more dynamic point. One of my favorite areas so far is this back area here. which once I extend it even more, will be this kind of dark, secretive room with catwalks and even trains off in the distance that just kind of move around each other. And it'll have just, hopefully, this really nice spy-techy feel of mystery and intrigue. Of course, you go around and you kind of come up to this house. The main purpose of this route is not only just because it's really fun to be a pyro and air blast people here, and also the med packs, but it's a way to kind of get up to this top area without having to go all the way around these buildings here. So if you're at the point you want to get up there, it's not going to be easy, but you can kind of take your time, go around here, and bam, you're at the top again. One place that I've gotten a lot of critique on is this area here. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I agree. Even while I was building it, I was thinking, man, this part of the map is probably going to be used like 3 times in the entire round. And I was right. The idea was to have spies kind of have this cool little circular thing that they can sneak around under. The only problem is it's too effective. So you can go from your spawn all the way to the other spawn without meeting anybody, because there's no other reason for a class to come down here. So I'm thinking in the second versions, I'm either going to compact this, or I even have some ideas in the future to just completely redo the area. Which is a little bit of a shame, because I really like this curved architecture I had going here with like the running under roots and such, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You gotta learn to get rid of ideas, right? So in the coming versions, you should see this get a couple changes. So far, my favorite parts are here, the actual capture point. Is here the actual capture point itself with all the little jumps. Up here, of course, the place where you kind of shoot down and try to jump down. Difficult to defend. I might make this elevator less steep so you actually do have the option of running up it, but that will mean I'll have to elongate everything around it to kind of meet up with it. So we'll see how I go about that. I think I'll do a little bit of rocket jumping just to give you the idea of what I mean. Now I started off with the blue spawn because a lot of the theming of this map really came from an Art Pass map that I made for the Art Pass Club. If you don't know, that's a forum on the TF2 maps where they just give you a template and you make your own little place. And you can see here already these windows. It's going to be like that middle building that I designed. So like I said, if you want to get up there, you're going to have to get as top to the hill as possible and just jump up. This is kind of an idea that I got from Array 7's video on mapping, where he had that kind of cover that you could jump over. But I also just think it flows nicely with the houses. And then once you get down here, now I must warn you, I'm not the best rocket jumper, but it's actually surprisingly easy to get a good flow. So let me see if I can do something. That was terrible. Let me try that once more. Don't look at the health, you don't see anything. I swear I used to be really good at this one specific loadout that I found, but oh well. Okay, obviously that one was not viable in any way. Let's see if I can get one back. Ooh, that was fun. That felt very clean right there. If you can get a market guard and just at someone coming out this door, I think that would be a little fun. Another thing I noticed is this area back here. I kind of made it for, again, spies, maybe a little bit. The whole point of this map is to make every class as viable as I can get it to be. But this is also supposed to be a really good help for engineers. But from the tests that I've seen, the engineers just kind of don't want to come back here. I don't know if they're scared they'll get killed off, or if they just don't see it. But there's like a medium health and ammo pack in both those buildings. And a little one right here. You could put a teleporter right here, put a teleporter right here, put in one of the buildings for all I care. It's out of the way of the battle, and I think it gives you a really nice spot that's far enough away that it warrants a teleporter. But oh well. All I got from the engineers in the test were you got to put more cover around here. So I guess I'll do that as well. We'll see if I can kind of influence them to go grab those ammo packs some more. I've also heard this map is amazing for trimping. What I'm guessing they mean by that is particularly the ramp that the elevator itself is on. Uh-oh. That's not what I intended. Okay, well, I guess we just have him with his fist in the air for the time being. I hope the charge works. It does not. Okay, let me sort this out. Alright, we're back. Let's take a look-see. Aha. Maybe I did that wrong. Let's try that again. No? Okay, I guess they were talking about something else. That's unfortunate that I haven't... I mean, these hills, maybe? Nope. I don't know what they managed to trimp on, but they gave me a resounding positive feedback. Either way. One of the biggest things was trying to make the heavy viable. So the best way to make the heavy viable is to not make every flank and every route as long as humanly possible. So the heavy, from this point, can get to the Spytech and underground base, or can, take a right turn instead. I had to pull out my L fingers there to see which side is left. And they can come up here and, it shouldn't take too long. I feel like heavy would be a pretty powerful class in this specific area. But I wanted to do that while giving the scout, a reason to be fast, but not too much power. So while they can get to areas quite fast, especially compared to the heavy, it doesn't really mean as much, if that makes sense, just because of the variety of the flanks. But they also have their amazing jumping, which can get them into tons of little nooks and crannies that all the other players can't. Oops, can't even dream of. Now we can get all the way over here. I even didn't clip this guy right here in case they wanted to go up there. That being said, I do plan to change this area, so if you're seeing this video, it's probably too late. If you'll see with the elevator, we have this kind of what looks like a trapdoor hatch. I do plan, like King of the Hill Lazarus, to kind of open this up at the end of the round, and then the elevator will continue going down all the way to a super secret room. Ooh, I wonder what will be down there. Not telling you, not yet. You'll probably find out by Alpha 5, Beta 1, somewhere in that range. Because so far, a lot of the gameplay is going well. I just need to make some drastic changes to a few places, and I think we'll be looking at a good map here. You'll see this door here. This is a plant's third exit. Since most good King of the Hill maps have a nice third exit, and this will kind of, because as you see, this gives pretty power move for some soldiers, but they'll now have to be watching both of these spawn routes, and also they can just exit at this area anyway. So hopefully spawn camping won't become too much of an issue. I do also plan to turn the respawn times down because 15 seconds is ridiculous. That the whole battle can happen without you in that time. But once they respawn more and they have all these decisions, this area won't be as powerful as one might think. I kind of got some, I would say inspiration, but I had the idea before thinking about this. Harvest's main point and then surrounding buildings have a lot of roof freedom, which I kind of wanted to make a choice, so that soldiers, demo man, anyone who can travel have a lot of free reign. I also made the skybox as tall as possible. I gave them this much free reign because once you get down here, as you can see, the ceiling is a bit lower. I tried to get it as high as possible. I might try to bring this area a bit further down. But all in all, it's just a little more confining to the jump classes, which was slightly on purpose. I'm trying to make it viable for all classes, not just the CP process classes. I think next I want to talk about the kind of design process I had going into this, because I am a very by the brush person. So when I start a map, I don't really draw anything out. I just have a strong idea in my head. I start at one point. This time it was this spawn location, and then I just started going out and out. I got to this part and I realized that I needed to start like spreading out a bit, so I created this connector path to another large lobby area. You know, it's kind of room corridor room, but it's more or less the only one in the map, so I think I can get away with this one. The biggest problem was this guy. So this is actually all part of this kind of ramp here, while also being the roof of this building. But as you can see, you know, it's a little confining, especially right here. The roof is a little low. And I just had to go back and forth, because, you know, it's fun to have a map that has this whole underground area with a fully decked out overgrown area. Above area, outside area. But because of that, a lot of the walls share walls with other areas. Like this wall right here, it's a imposter. You know, it's got a double life. It's the TF2 spy. It's got a mask on. So that has benefits, and it's got some, whatever the opposite of benefits are. Benefits are I don't use as many blocks, right? Because I can reuse the same wall in 3 or more ways. The negatives are negatives. That's the opposite of benefits. The negatives are I really gotta like condense everything in awkward ways. In awkward ways, just to try to make that less so. Overall, playtest went well. I'm pretty hopeful about this map. I actually haven't mapped in a very long time, or haven't done an extreme map. So doing a smaller King of the Hill doing a smaller King of the Hill project like this only takes me about 3 days per update so far, is a really nice way to get me out of my kind of mapping block. I'm gonna move over to Hammer to kind of talk about some of the difficulties I see while mapping. That kind of made this map take longer than normal. Here we have it in map, and alright, so here we have it in Hammer. Let me just, so you can see a little better, I'll turn off all the clipping brushes and such. Tool brushes. That should be pretty good. Maybe I'll turn off the sky as well, just so you can see pretty freely. So, one of the weird things I had is, for some reason, I really wanted to start it off with these diagonal 45-degree displacements. This was a terrible idea, because now I have this, you know, clean square displacement, and I had to create this god-awful triangle here just to connect the two up. Do not do this. Don't ever do this unless you have a specific reason for it. In the next update, I'm going to have to come back and delete all this and do it all over again. Especially when I work on out of bounds area. Now I'm going to have to do it all at a 45-degree angle, and it's just going to get so messy for absolutely no reason. The second thing I kind of had going, another big thing that I kind of deal with in Hammer is, especially with a symmetrical map, this is very obvious. I'll build something up, especially a spawn where you have all these different logic things like doors, visualizers, resupply cabinets, which I actually found out all of these are linked to the same model, which is not very good because you open one and they all open. But I have this problem where I'll make a side, there's no problems with it that I can see at the moment. I'll be like, oh, perfect. Now I can very easily just, you know, control, copy, paste to the other side, and I'll have like a full map. You know, that's the best part about a symmetrical map. And I'll think, yeah, let me just load up the map really quick, and I'll just run around for a bit. And then I'm running around, and I'm finding things that I don't necessarily need to be finding, just little things that I could fix later regardless. Just kind of stalling myself and not letting myself just copy and paste it over. Because I'm thinking, man, yeah, but now I'm going to have to do the annoying logic of all the doors and copy and paste and stuff. This is, I think, something a lot of newer mappers have, even some advanced mappers as well. where you just kind of want to take a breather, but that breather starts turning into, I'd say, drowning. You just start drowning in not willingness, more or less. And to that, I would just have to say, give yourself a countdown, maybe. Just say, okay, I'm going to give myself like the next 10 seconds to take a break, and then I'll just start building. That's what works for me. Because even when it's not copying and pasting, even when I have to redo an entire area like this, sure, it's annoying to have to delete everything and then recreate it, but it takes so much quicker than you think, right? Once you start getting into it, it's over before you even know it. The only thing stopping you from doing it is just the whole, oh, well, what if I mess something up and then I'm going to have to do even more work? Well, right now, you're going to have to do even more work because you just won't get the work done. It's good time management to just push yourself and just start copying and pasting stuff over, start building new routes, whatever. Once you start, don't stop. All right, that's the thing that has been haunting me for the last couple of years of mapping, where things that could have taken me a week take me up to a month because I just spend entire days not mapping at all, just running around whatever I've just made. You know, appreciating it, sure, but not getting anything done. So that's the best tip I can give you for now. I think that's all I have to say about the map. The spawns will be changed. I don't like how complicated it is in here, and I just don't like how ugly it is. I don't think it's going to fit with the theme I'm going for. The red bricks, I'm going to go for a very industrial style, I feel. I mean, they're both going to be industrial, but brick industrial. Very different from metal industrial. Something like capture the point rows, like what Pig made, with those beautiful brick blending textures. Alright, with that, I think this first devlog is over. This is my first time doing something like this, so, you know, if I ever didn't go over something that you wanted me to go over, or you just have any suggestions, please tell me in the comments. I'm gonna try to make these videos better, because I really want you guys to enjoy them and to get something out of it, get a little more information that you maybe didn't have to begin with. If you need me to talk about anything, displacements, detailing, even though this map isn't quite detailed yet, I'd be happy to take a break from these devlogs and talk about it. But overall, this has been King of the Hill Facade Alpha 1. Thank you for watching.